Sometimes, we think we are at the peak of human history. We believe we stand at the farthest edge of technology and science. Yet some artifacts emerge from beneath the earth that instantly replace that pride with doubt. It feels as if humanity once passed through a great test in the past and then forgot what it had achieved. Today, we are bringing together those lost fragments that, according to the history we are taught, should never have existed. If you are ready, leave all your assumptions at the door. Because today, not logic, but impossibilities will speak. Imagine living in 212 BCE in the city of Syracuse, Sicily. One of the most powerful fleets of the Mediterranean, the Roman navy, has surrounded the city. Archimedes, the greatest genius of his time, was not only a mathematician, but also a defense engineer tasked with protecting his people. According to legendary accounts, Archimedes placed massive polished bronze shields and mirrors along the city walls, focusing sunlight onto a single point and turning Roman ships kilometers away into blazing fireballs within seconds, breaking the strength of the Roman army. For centuries, this story was dismissed as nothing more than an ancient war myth. Modern scientists debated whether sunlight could really reach temperatures high enough to ignite wood from such distances. However, in 1973, Greek scientist Ioannis Sakas conducted an experiment using 70 copper-coated mirrors and a model ship, successfully setting the vessel on fire within seconds. Later, in 2005, MIT students managed to ignite a wooden boat from more than 30 meters away with a similar setup, demonstrating that Archimedes' theory was physically possible. But how could such precise optical engineering and military strategy exist before the Common Era? Was there a mechanism controlling the angle of the mirrors simultaneously? Or had Archimedes solved optical laws 2,000 years before modern science? If this technology had not vanished along with Syracuse, what level would modern defense systems have reached today? Archimedes' invention may have been the first energy weapon lost in the dusty pages of history. In 1838, the Hungarian nobleman Gustav Batthyány donated his personal library to the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. Among hundreds of books, one stood out, an unreadable manuscript that no linguist or codebreaker on Earth has fully understood. This handwritten work, more than 400 pages long, is now known as the Codex Rohonczi and is considered one of the most mysterious books in the world. What makes it so enigmatic is the complexity of its alphabet. While most writing systems contain between 20 and 40 characters, the Codex Rohonczi features more than 200 unique symbols. Some resemble Latin letters, others look like ancient Turkic tamgas, and some appear entirely unfamiliar, like unknown hieroglyphs. The illustrations inside make it even more puzzling. Christian crosses and Islamic crescents appear side by side, suggesting that the manuscript does not belong to a single religion or culture. Some researchers claim it is an elaborate 18th century forgery, yet watermark analyses on the paper suggest a much older origin, possibly dating back to the 16th century. Even modern artificial intelligence algorithms struggle to decode its structure. Is this manuscript the final trace of a lost civilization, or a grand cryptographic puzzle designed to deceive the world? Codex Rohonczi continues to guard its secret among dusty shelves. The Temple of Dendera in Egypt is famous for its massive columns and astronomical calendars. However, the reliefs discovered in the narrow passages and underground chambers of the temple are far more intriguing. Known as the Dendera Light, these carvings depict a massive transparent tube containing a coiled serpent. The image resembles a modern Crookes tube or a giant light bulb so closely that ancient astronaut theorists claim it proves the existence of electricity in ancient Egypt. Mainstream archaeologists interpret the scene as a symbolic representation of the god Harsamtis emerging from a lotus flower. Yet there is a puzzling detail. Despite thousands of square meters of wall decorations deep within Egypt's dark burial chambers and corridors, there are no traces of soot that would indicate torch usage. If the Egyptians did not carry sunlight with mirrors, which would be optically impossible, how were these spaces illuminated? A closer look at the relief reveals cable-like structures connected to the serpent, pillars resembling electrical insulators known as the jed, and box-like objects that resemble power sources. Some engineers have even attempted to recreate a functioning electrical device by following the schematic implied by these carvings. If the Egyptians truly understood electricity, was this knowledge a secret preserved only by temple priests deep within sacred chambers? In 1929, during an inventory study at Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, a fragment of a map was discovered that would shake the foundations of world geography debates. Dated 1513, this map was drawn on gazelle skin by the Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis. It depicted lands beyond the known world of the time, the eastern coasts of the Americas, and vast oceans, with astonishing accuracy. But the most shocking detail lay in the southern section. The landmass shown at the bottom of the map is claimed by some to represent the northern coastline of Antarctica. The impossible aspect is this: Antarctica was officially discovered in 1820. Even more striking, the coastline on the map appears free of ice, depicted as an exposed landmass. Modern seismic measurements are said to align almost perfectly with the ice-free outline shown in Piri Reis's drawing. In his notes, written along the margins of the map, Piri Reis stated that he relied on ancient sources from the era of the Library of Alexandria and on the lost maps of Columbus. This raises a massive question. Was there a forgotten civilization capable of traveling the world and creating such precise maps before Antarctica was covered in ice? If Piri Reis obtained this knowledge from ancient sources, who created those sources, when, and with what technology? The Piri Reis Map may be one of the strongest hints that what we know about the history of cartography is only the visible part of a much larger iceberg.